Hello, welcome in, welcome in. I am JL Garofalo. Welcome to Creator CTO, where we teach you all about AI, products, and everything else. Oh, we already got some people trickling in. Welcome in. Welcome into this fine Tuesday morning. We're back, baby. We're back. All right, today, the plan, the goal, the objective, whatever you want to call it, whatever fancy word you got for it. We're trying to find, let me rephrase this. Our objective today, we're taking parts of the content creation process and we're automating them with AI skills, Claude skills specifically. We're going to build out some skills. We're going to identify some different use cases or areas, parts of the content creation process that need to be automated, that could be automated, where skills, that particular feature for any of these AI agentic platforms that you're using, we're going to go ahead and take those skills or create those skills. And the whole purpose of that is to reduce the time and energy it takes to create some content here. Welcome in, chat. Welcome in. I am JL. You know me mostly from Twitter right now, looks like. Welcome in. And if you have any questions on AI, on Claude, if you got questions along the way, please throw them in the chat. We'll talk about it. This is live. So you have, opportunity to hop up here with me. But without further ado, let's get into this. All right, so what are our skills? Claude. What the heck are you talking about, JL? What is all this about Claude and skills and all this? Well, skills is a feature within Claude. It's not specific to Claude. Pretty much, I think there's an open source like skills standard. So other AI platforms can use similar types of things. If you're not using Claude, there's the same exact feature on OpenAI. Today, we're going to be using Claude, but you can use OpenAI if that's what you wanted to do. So what are skills? Let me see. Pull this up. Make this bigger. Make it bigger, JL. Phrasing, JL. Watch your phrasing. All right. Claude Doc skills. Skills extend Claude's capabilities with specialized instructions and workflows. All right. That sounds good. Skills are directories containing instructions, scripts, resources that Claude dynamically, dynamically loads to handle specific tasks. Each skill has a skill.md file that defines when it should be activated and what instructions Claude should follow. And so if you've ever used Claude before, which we have open here on the right side of the screen, you guys have the worst eyes. I always have to make it so big. A bunch of grandmas in the chat. A skill is essentially a little encapsulated bit of functionality of instructions on how to do something, in which we can package up and allow the AI to use directly in our use case. Whenever you're using an AI agent, it's trained on a ton of data that you have no idea what it's been trained on. It's been trained on a ton of data, like the whole human history, whole human knowledge base has been trained into these models. It's not true, but a lot of internet data, a lot of book data have gone into training it. That gives these models that we're using, like Opus 4.6 or Sonnet or whatever the model is, it gives them great general knowledge and even specific knowledge in various domains. And you have to prompt them to get them to, go figure out. If you ask when did the dinosaurs die? It's got to be like, okay, I got to go check my dinosaur directory, my dinosaur index back there. And then boom, okay, they died here. But these models aren't going to know how you create content or what your creative process is or what you like the pieces of whatever it is, the output that you're creating. It doesn't know your taste. It doesn't know your judgment. And so that's where skills come in, is that we can build in our taste and judgment into something that the bot can then reference and use to achieve some end goal for us, of course, for our benefit. And so we have the skill Claude. If you have the desktop app, it has a skill section here. Let me go back so you can see how I got here. No, don't look at my stats. I was trying to get it to not show the stats, and then it shows the stats. How embarrassing. Doesn't matter. All right, you got to come to this customize tab here. All right, it's the whole app looks kind of new right now. So if you guys, oh, no, if you haven't been there before, then you might not know, but it looks different than it did before. But there's a customized section. Maybe you need to re-download Claude if you haven't, or update it or whatever. But once you hit that customize tab and you come down here, you can see it says create new skills. And we're going to live in here. Teach Claude your processes, team norms, and expertise. All right. Don't really want to teach the bot all my expertise, but if it helps me, maybe I will. So these, you can see that there are already some skills built into Claude here: Canvas design, MCP builder, whatever the heck that is, skill creator. That sounds like a skill we need right now. And so we can come in here, let's dig into this and we can see kind of what this looks like. Well, let me pull this other thing up real quick. All right, chat. If you're just joining us, welcome in. Today we're building an AI skill, some skill artifacts, so that we're building those live so that we can help reduce the amount of time and content creation that our content creation process takes. So we're trying to learn this new piece of these AI chatbots, level up here, and we're going to build out an actual artifact in which should, in theory, reduce the amount of time and energy it takes to create content. And we're going to test it out we can just do it with this channel, right? I'll go through we'll go through together a couple different use cases. We'll ideate on some, coming up with YouTube titles, coming up with YouTube. We'll come up with some ideas for areas where we think could be skillified, and then we're going to skillify it. Or we're going to have Claude skillify it probably with this skill creator thing here. So that's the plan. And so right now we're digging into what the heck is a skill even anyway. Basically, from what we're reading here, it's a directory containing instructions, scripts, and resources that Claude can dynamically load to handle specific tasks. Each skill has a skill.md file that defines when it should be activated and what instructions Claude should follow. Okay, that sounds pretty straightforward. Come in here, we can actually dig into their files here. So this is the skill creator skill. It's pretty meta. Just the overview: creates new skills, modify, improve existing skills, and measure skill performance. Skill. Use when users want to create a skill from scratch, edit or optimize an existing skill. Run evals to test a skill. Benchmark skill performance with skill variance analysis. Or optimize a skill's description for better skill triggering accuracy. Damn it, I messed it up at the end. Okay, that sounds pretty good. A lot of skills, a skill creator. And look, we can even see this. I don't know what this is, but we could see it. A high level of process. Okay, is this the skill.md? I think it is. Is that what we were just looking at? No, skill creator. A skill for creating new skills. Skill.md. Create new skills, modify and improve existing skills, and measure skill performance. Skills. Okay, I don't think those are the same files, but I don't know what this other one is. Skill.md. This is the bundled thing. So we're going to create this for our situation that we're doing. How we doing, chat? Welcome in, chat. We are building some AI skills, some Claude skills specifically today. Let's see, going back to this. Okay, a skill for creating new skills, iteratively improving them at a high level. The process of creating a skill goes like this: decide what you want the skill to do, roughly how it should do it, write a draft of the skill. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. They're just laying out instructions on what's going to happen. What's the rough outline, the rough process here for when somebody creates a skill, which makes sense if we're putting this we're projecting this, what we're seeing here in the skill.md, into a situation for a skill that's related to content creation. Let's take the example of a YouTube title. That's just one that's most immediate one that I'm sure every content creator wants to immediately automate. It takes time, it takes thinking, energy, thinking of the right title to put for a video concept. And so when I'm thinking about this in another case, of coming up with a title, the process of that, what's the meta process of that? If I was to create this title creator instead of skill creator, skill for creating new skills, skill for creating new titles, YouTube titles, and iteratively improving on them. High level, the process of creating a YouTube title goes like this: decide what the video is about and roughly how it's gonna go. I don't know. I'm just thinking. The reason I'm thinking through it like this is because this might help me think once we get to the next step here, where it's like, what are we gonna do for when we're trying to lay out our use case for the bot, and we don't have a skill MD to already go off of. You know, this might give us some scaffolding to start from, or initial spot to start from, basically. And so decide what you want the skill to do, what you want the YouTube title to do, decide what you want the video to be about, and then maybe think about, maybe it's something like, think about what the video is about and what the value is for the user, and then come up with some, 3 drafts, or write a draft of a title of the skill, write a draft of the YouTube title, create a few test titles to give back to the user, ask their opinion on, and then iterate there, rewrite the skill, rewrite the YouTube title based on the feedback of the user's evaluation of the results. And so we just defined in words, or not we, but the skill MD just defined in words, a high level process where you're describing the user and you're describing the bot, and you're just describing what they're doing between them to achieve the end goal here. Okay, that seems pretty cool. That makes sense. Go back to this doc. Okay, availability. Skills are available for users on Pro. You got to pay to play, which I highly recommend if you're still lingering on those free tiers of some of these models, and you're serious about using this stuff, using AI to help build leverage, help you save time. Like, you're not just tinkering and playing, doing it as a hobby or just playing around. You're actually trying to apply it to your business or something like that. Then highly recommend, especially if it's for your business, highly recommend you upgrade to at least one of the paid plans, and just do a little bit of research into how they're gating which models you have access to, because that's going to become increasingly a point of where you have to pay to get the best execution from these models. That's, at some point in the future, we'll live in a world where only the top corporations will pay for this premier model level, and the rest of us get all the normal outputs. Those of us that can't afford $1 million a month plan type of thing, you're going to just be forced to use the cheaper models, and then try to add it yourself. You're going to be at a disadvantage, is what I'm saying. Okay, so let me stop talking. How skills work. If you got questions on any of these skills, chat, feel free to throw them in here. What I'm going to do is take this live stream video, and cut it up probably into more shorter form video. So if you got a question that leads to a good conversation, we're back and forth, then I might put that up as a video. So how skills work. Skills use progressive disclosure to manage context efficiently. What the heck is progressive disclosure skills? What is this? I can't say it. Disclosive disclosure. What is this? What is progressive disclosure? I know what it is. I just couldn't say that word. Does it actually explain what that is here? Let me keep reading, then we'll figure out. Metadata loading. Claude reads skill names and descriptions at startup. Activation: when a task matches a skill description, Claude loads the full. It's describing progressive disclosure. When a task matches a skill description, Claude loads the full skill at empty content. So this is a way. It's describing to you how skills impact the context in your token usage, and so it doesn't load all of the skill files up into memory. It doesn't have immediate on-demand access to it. The bot is the bot doesn't have access to all of the skills in depth, but it does know the label for each of the skills, so that it knows when to pick it and when to use it. And this was where defining a clear, very specific instruction set in your when you're defining your skill is going to be valuable, and that's where like the quality lever is going to be. Okay, so that makes sense. That's kind of details, not really important. Uh, Types of skills, anthropic skills. These are built in. These are just like ones that the company has built into the model whenever you're paying for it. Partner skills, skills from partners. Like this is like if you have an integration with an app like Notion or Figma. If you already have that set up, then this is probably useful. That's useful to you. We're not going to get into any of that today. Organization, yeah, that's cool too. Also, we're not going to get into that today. Custom skills, boom, that's where we're going to live. Skills you create for specialized workflows, generating emails, applying brand guidelines, integrating with tools like blah blah blah. That's what we want. It's custom skills. We want a skill to make our life easier. The content creator, the person, me, JL. That's who we want to help. It's a noble goal. Skills versus other features. All right, this is probably worth talking about. This is cool. Skills versus other features, because they keep coming up with new terms and new features and keep every day. It's like dispatch, teams, agents, MCP, WXT, doesn't matter. Skills, feature, skills, task specific procedures that load dynamically. So it's like a little prepackaged, this is how you do this thing. Plugins, shareable packages that bundle skills, connectors, slash commands, and subagents. Okay, so plugins is kind of like it's more like what do you call that? When you're at camp and your mom sends you a care package. Plugins are like a care package that you get from your mom when you're at camp. It's got a bunch of stuff in there. And it probably, it gives you like a little ecosystem. You can just drop right into your Claude Code instance or Claude instance. Because I'm pretty sure skills work across Claude Code, your normal Claude chat. I don't know if normal Claude chat, if that last part is true, and Claude Cowork. I know that's for true. That is definitely true. Project, static background knowledge, always loaded in specific chats. Okay. I guess that's like if you have a specific project that you're working on, maybe it's like the specific Claude data around that. I'm not really sure. MCP, connect Claude to external services. That's cool. And blah. And this is the open standard I was talking about, where like if you just wanted to get into, if you wanted to create, if you don't want to get locked into using Claude or Anthropic, then you might want to make this in a way or design your skills in a way that aren't Claude specific. And so it looks like this maybe skills follow the agent skill. Yeah, Claude follows this open standard. So you can reuse it across different ones is what they're saying. Cool. So creating custom skills. This is what we want to do. This is it. We found it. Learn how to create, structure, and test your own custom skills. Sweet. And that's focus on one workflow rather than trying to do everything. Solve a specific repeatable task. Have clear instructions Claude can follow. Include examples when helpful. And define when they should be used. Define when, okay. So it's given us an idea of how to create a good, effective skill, something that we want to use. So now that we're at this point, let's take a step back and start thinking about what type of use cases, content creation use cases, would be good for would be good to solve using a skill. Like where could we get some gains in this content creation pipeline from using some repeatable skill? We're not going to build them all today, but it's probably worth coming up and thinking of some of them, and then we'll maybe pick one to build. So this is getting into how to exactly do it, which we don't. Yeah, we're not going to get it all out. I'll fall asleep. I'll fall asleep if you make me get into all that and you don't even talk to me, chat. Chat, let me pull up a little note here. Content, let's see. Creation skill ideas. All right. All right, chat. Could use your help on this one. Okay, so let me pull up the chat. All right, chat. We're thinking of ideas for different parts of the content creation workflow that could be good for for automating with a skill, an AI skill here. So that might be something like, sorry, I'm just getting all my windows open. That might be something like uh, generating a title for a YouTube video. Close enough. That could be generating a description for a YouTube video, generating a thumbnail for a YouTube video. Do this all day. It's just progressively getting worse. The speech to text is just slowly degrading every time. Generating. Okay, so basically YouTube metadata. Right. What else? Generate. When I'm thinking about like what makes, when I'm thinking about the parameters, like how do I? No, okay, sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So maybe another one is like going from messy thoughts to like a video concept. Thinking of new ideas for videos. Uh, Metadata or package, like YouTube packaging is another term I've heard used for that same thing. Thinking of new ideas for videos. Finding high quality clip moments from long form videos. So like I did this on a previous video on this channel where I was just messing around. I passed in a transcript from my Front Yard Fantasy live stream with my co-host Simon, and so it's like two of us going back and forth talking about NFL, playing trivia games, and I gave it just the transcript and I said, hey, find 3 of the highest value clippable moments in this transcript. Like looking at this transcript, and I gave it some more details like, hey, pretend like you're a producer or act like you're an expert producer, not pretend. So finding high quality clip moments from long form videos. Maybe this isn't just video content, right? We got like writing, generate a draft for a newsletter or social post. Can you see this chat? My quiet chat. Welcome in, chat. We're building some AI skills with Claude specifically to help make the content creation process easier. I hate the content creation process. It is so not easy. It is not easy, and it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of energy, and it's exhausting, and it's not easy. And so we're making a skill that makes it easy, and we're going to make a bunch of skills and make it so easy that we don't even have to do anything anymore because the bot will do it for us. Okay, so generate a draft for newsletter of social posts. We're thinking of ideas. This is idea time, chat. Throw some ideas in the chat. Contribute to your community. What other ideas could we just generate? Social newsletter. No, sorry, I'm just repeating that one. Maybe like turning one idea into multiple assets, content assets. Maybe maybe going from, for instance, whenever I set up a live stream, I have to set up a structure to follow. Like if I just hit record and I just start yapping, it's takes too much time. to think while you're on camera, and you can't multitask that, especially if it's just a solo stream. If it's two people, it's also still hard though, and you take away out of the presence of being in. Anyway, that's a long way of saying whenever before we go into a live stream, there's always a loose structure. It's might be like intro, yap, yap for a bit, a little bit of light talking, and then get into this game. Or if it's on this channel, it might be something like, hey, intro, lay out what you're doing today, lay out the objective of the stream. For instance, we're creating AI skills to make content creation easier. Make sure that's top of mind, and then go into the nitty gritty. Start laying out different candidates to be automated. That's the part that we're in right now. And so going from an idea for a show, like generating a show sheet for a live stream. Wow, I talked so much for that one idea. Way too much. But yeah, you get the gist. It's there's some prep that goes into it. There's pieces you want to hit. You want to give yourself guardrails to follow while you're going, so that you know what to do. It's just like any sport. I'm living in sports land, so I think in sports. A basketball game wouldn't make sense if you didn't have periods, or you didn't. There wasn't a time period. Football, same thing. So if you didn't have quarters, if you could just keep playing forever, it would be a dumb game. So generating a show sheet I don't know how that ties back into this. What are some other ones? Conceptual, like refining a rough content idea into a brand aligned content idea. So that's like another one, is that each brand and channel you're talking to is a specific audience, has specific like you can talk to them specifically with whatever the content idea is. That works the same with platforms, right? You're going from X to LinkedIn to Blue Sky to Reddit. It doesn't matter. Like each one of those has a specific voice, specific language they use that won't hit as well if you're trying to use your voice from one in the other. Cool. You know what? Chat. You're useless, chat. Where's the other guy? Where's the other bot? All right, we're going to pull up ChatGPT here. I'll say, please. Why are you wheeling me, chat? Okay, we're back. All right, so let's use the bot to help us. Act as an expert content creation expert. Content creation genius. Act as an expert content manager. Help. Identify high value use cases for automation using AI skills. High value use cases in the content creation workflow that's ripe. That's a high value use cases for automation using AI skills. And we'll give it an example. Here's our current list. See what you got. See what you got, ChatGPT. So it's saying highest value AI skill and opportunities, they share 3 traits. They happen repeatedly. They require judgment, not just formatting, and they save time across many pieces of content. So the surface area is high. Looking at your list, highest value. Dude, it talks so much. Content creation and concept shaping. This is the first part of your creative process typically, right? It's thinking about what are we going to even do here? What is this? We're going to make a video, but what's it going to be about? What's like, why? This is where you start thinking about, it's not just videos. It could be really any creative endeavor. It's a movie, if it's a film, if it's a short film, if it's a reel, it just has to be video for me. No, it works for like newsletters. It works for articles, essays. It's kind of the same rough process you go through. It's turning messy thoughts into a clear video concept or finding this is our use cases, right? We're finding a rough content idea into a brand aligned idea, generating new video ideas from audience brand. Oh, that's a good one. Didn't even think of that, chat. Come up with new ideas. Start at the source. Where did our list go? We got to bring up the list again. Generating new ideas based off of the brand and past performance. Is that what it says? Something like that. Generating contrary. Ooh. Have the bot think for you entirely. From audience, brand, and recent themes. Oh, I like that, the way it phrased that. Based off of audience, brand, and something in between. I did not say that. It was something like that, though. Pressure testing whether an idea is actually interesting enough to publish. That's a good one. That's a good one. And so the end state that we're trying to get to with any of these, because we're going to pick one of these and we're going to try to turn it into a skill that we can, save some time on. The end goal is to make it so that something that took us, 30 minutes before could now take us maybe 5 seconds. That's a win. And if we could do that all over the place, then how many seconds could we collect? That's kind of the game. That's the game we're playing right now. What else did it say? Generator idea scorecard. I don't want to do idea scorecard. That's cool, but hook generator. That's a good one. Hook generator. Because that's like a specific part of it. Once you have your great idea for your whatever it is that you're doing, we'll just talk about video since that's my language. If you're making a video and you're like, okay, I'm gonna make a video. For instance, I'm gonna make a live stream about using AI skills to save your time with content creation. From there, it's like, okay, well, how do I say that in a way? How do I hook somebody? How do I get somebody interested who's not already interested in that specifically? Well, the idea, whatever the idea is, helps initially, will help you come up with those ideas. But even then, it's like you have to take this editorial perspective on it and edit down whatever that idea is into the right copy to grab somebody immediately and pull them in, and then the hook, to get them to stay. It's like a continual refinement of process that you got to go through to try to get each piece tuned properly. So hook generator is a great one. That in and of itself can take a lot of time if the idea doesn't lend itself to a good hook. Content planning, generate a show sheet for a live stream. Mentioned that one. Turning a concept into an outline. That's a good one. A lot of times, if you're recording a VOD, it's not a live stream. You might have some rough ideas. You want to just put that out there, pick the concept, and then turn that into some structured piece that you can then record and rip on. That's a great use case. And there's a bunch of these here that it feels like we're just now digging into this, really. Generating segment ideas for a live stream or podcast. When we used to do the 3-hour morning show, I had to slowly, we started with no segments. It was just 3 hours. Free form. We just ripped and tried to come up with segments on the fly. Don't recommend that. And then, day by day, just slowly add in segments. Okay, let's start with the new segment. All right, let's come up with another segment. Let's try that out. And slowly just start to build out segment ideas. This is a great one. That takes time, takes energy, takes creative energy. We're trying to save that or conserve it. That's a great way to frame exactly what we're doing here. We're trying to conserve the creative energy using AI skills. Conserve our own creative energy, generating interview questions. If you do interviews, which I plan to do more of on this channel, typically when I do an interview, I come up with a bunch of questions and then I start, go to the conversation and then you see where it goes and you use the questions to guide you. That's pretty cool. That's another great use case. I should be taking all these. Doing research, creating research for a topic. Let's take all of this, steal all of these from the bot. Thank you, bot. Steal my job, I steal your ideas, bot. It was all my idea. Turning a concept into an outline. I think I got that. Generating multiple episode structures based on format. Okay, that's specific. Creating a call to action options aligned to the content goal. Oh, that's a good one. When you create content, you got to have a call to action. And every content creator knows you got to learn to do that naturally. That doesn't come organically to most people. Packaging. All right, these are another good use cases. Writing platform specific metadata. I'm not going to copy all these into that because we're just going to pick one of these, for this stream. YouTube titles, YouTube descriptions, thumbnail concepts. Yeah, this is the first 3 use cases we mentioned when we started out the stream. And then, sorry. So those are the first 3 use cases mentioned out of the stream. It takes a ton of time for anybody publishing on YouTube, including myself. So let's go ahead and start there. I feel like that's probably a great one. So generating YouTube titles, descriptions, and concepts, or thumbnail concepts. Okay, so you know what? I don't want to start there because there's another one that I really like here. Post-production intelligence. This is a very high workflow because long-form content contains lots of trapped value. Use case is finding high-quality clip moments from long-form videos. We added this one onto our list. Identifying quote-worthy moments, extracting emotionally charged or insight-dense sections, generating short-form clip candidates with timestamps. These are all kind of different ways of saying similar things. Labeling content moments by type: funny, insightful, controversial, useful. Identifying the best opening 30 to 60 seconds. Generating captions or subtitle cleanup. Suggest B-roll or on-screen text moments. No. Summarizing what episode was actually about after recording. All of those some of those are good. Clip Finder or Moment Finder is probably one of the most useful as someone who's mainly lived in live stream land. What it's saying about trap value behind long form live streams is absolutely correct. Unless you already follow a brand or already follow the creators of a live stream, you're unlikely to watch a long live stream to find these little gems in there. And so typically you want to clip those moments out and share them on other social platforms or even the same like a YouTube platform so that you can then, give people a peek into the magic. Give them a little preview into the magic. That's a great one. And I actually already have a transcript pulled up so we have something to test with specifically. So let's go with that one. Let's start there. Let's create a skill, an AI skill around taking a long form video, a long form live stream, and finding the highest value, highest quality, clippable moments. But you can see, and after going through, I went through this section here specifically so that you can see how I think about and how you want to think about different what problems to solve with skills. Because that's a whole part of this. It's not just figuring out how to make the skill solve the problem for you. You also have to think about and identify the right problems that are going to actually save you time at the end of the day and that you're going to use. Aren't just going to be something you make and then don't ever use. And so we can use that specific metric as our way to evaluate whether these skills are useful after we make them, is that we can observe how frequently we actually utilize the skill in our day-to-day actions, whatever we're doing. As content creators, it's like doing live streams, making videos, that type of stuff. If we don't end up using it, it's probably not going to end up being valuable, and we can either ditch it or edit it, refine it, and make it better. So let's just take this. We're gonna have Claude help us with this. Oh, Cloud, yoo-hoo, Mr. Cloud. Dude, show your face, dude. Here. All right, Cloud. So we're gonna use the skill creator here, the skill creator skill, to create our own skill. Create skill, create with Claude, write skill instructions, or upload a skill. We want to create with Claude. Okay, let's create a skill together using your skill creator skill. First, ask me what the skill should do. All right, we're gonna get rid of that. And we're just gonna, oh, yeah, okay, sweet. Just want to make sure that it didn't hit enter. All right, let's create a skill together using your skill creator skill. Uh, the skill, the skill is for finding high quality clip moments from long form videos. I'll I'll attach the transcript of a video. Or could we even maybe pass it the video itself? I don't know. I don't know if that's the right idea, because that, like, I don't know, like a hour long live stream is multiple gigabytes. I don't know if it's the best use to give it the video and have it transcribe it. Let's start with the transcript. Maybe we'll revisit the attaching the video itself. Uh, you can get a transcript of a video by uploading it to YouTube, and once you upload it, and it's like in draft form on the YouTube Studio, you can go into YouTube Studio and download the subtitles, which work as a transcript in this case. The subtitles file, SRT, I think is the extension. Or you can use a tool like Script, or I think there's like Otter AI and a few others. I'm sure you could have AI build you out a tool that, and OpenAI has a like Whisper API that could be used for this as well, to get the transcription file, but it's just a text file. Also, if you use like StreamYard or some of those other services, they might provide the transcript automatically. So you might want to check wherever you do your stream or video making. So the skills for finding high quality moments from the long form videos, videos or live streams. Just give it some extra context here. Attach a script, the transcript of a video. And that's all. Let's just see what it does. Examine skill, read the skill creator skill to understand how to create new skills. Sweet. That is definitely important. Read the truncated middle portion of the skill creators. Now it's digging into that. This is progressive disclosure in real time. You're watching that live. Progressive disclosure. I mean, that's so boring. What kind of content is this mainly for? Podcast interviews, gaming live streams, education stories, mix, should handle all. So we're creating the skill for me right now, I guess, since the chat hasn't claimed it. Or am I thinking, should we make this general? I'm deciding that in real time, and does it even matter? I think let's go through and let's make it the general case, since that's what we're going for. There's probably a billion of these generic skills out there already. So why don't we just make it? I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it specifically for me. But if you go and do this yourself, obviously substitute any parts of the process, any of the context or instructions that I'm giving the bot, and for your own stuff, your own workflow. Podcast interviews, gaming, live streams. What kind of content is this mainly for? It's mainly for live streams. What defines a high quality clip moment for you? Funny, entertaining peaks, for sure. The content is entertainment primarily, so that's important. Insightful, quotable takes. I think that it's a fantasy football, also like advice content. So we're talking about takes, or takes on NFL players, or takes on fantasy players, or takes on trades, that sort of stuff. So anything like that is could be useful, could be valuable, clippable moments. Emotional, dramatic beats, for sure. Those are always good for finding clips. Something with high or low emotions. Anything that can be wielded in our psychological warfare game here. Self-contained story or lesson. I like that too. I mean, all of these I think could be useful. Is there anything else that we're not thinking of here? Funny, entertaining, insightful, quotable, emotional, dramatic beat, or anything that the bot didn't think of that we should add. I guess emotional beats kind of does cover. I was gonna say like it's like high emotion, high passion, arguments. Like let's also add like can I add in this also arguments, disagreements. It can be good. Disagreements can be good for clips. They're not always good, but let's go with that. Disagreements or contrarian takes. That might, yeah, that works. What output format do you want? Markdown table, JSON list for tooling, ranked list with narrative reasoning. Let cloud pick the best format. Markdown table, title, timestamp, why. JSON list for tooling. JSON list for tool. So I'm guessing what it means by for tooling is like you would pass that then to some other software tool that like takes the JSON and then displays it. I don't know if it's specifically talking about AI tooling. I don't think so, but maybe I guess that argument would still kind of hold with the JSON output piece, but I don't know. Ranked list with narrative reasoning. I like that. If we're going to use this in Claude code or Claude, then I think ranked lists should work. You know, it's just from there we can turn it into a markdown table or JSON list, but I feel like ranked list with narrative reasoning sounds pretty good. And then that helps it helps us refine. We can see why they chose these clips as opposed to just having it just be like, all right, this moment was good, this moment was good. And then that will tell us whether we need to adjust the prompt or the skill.md or the other files within the skill thing and edit it to tweak it so that it can actually be more effective in whatever we're trying to do. I'll give you an example of this is like for the FYF job board, which I've built on this channel, on live streams on this channel. For that, I have a piece of it where the AI grades each job. I can maybe pull it up here. The AI grades each job, and based off of that grading, based off of that grading and its reasoning, I'll then feed that data back into the prompt or go have Claude edit the prompt so that the grader gets better over time. Like for some reason last week it was down, it was like tanking the score of some of these like some interesting jobs in the industry because it incorrectly was assuming that because I had rejected on-site jobs in the past that I wanted to reject most of the on-site jobs in the future. And I was like, why is it doing that? That doesn't make sense. And so instead of having to just like try to infer that from the weird output we're getting, we're going to have it also give us the reasoning and that'll help us then work that back into the prompt. It's kind of like this little feedback loop cycle that lets us improve it over time. Every time we use it, we should be like giving some info back to have it improve, ideally. Unless it's perfect, unless it's like perfect, like it's just 100% no loss, like no efficiency loss, nothing. It's just, wow, this thing creates the perfect, finds the perfect clips every time without fail. Assuming we can't reach that peak, we're just going to try to get as close as we can over time. Okay, so it's drafting the skill, a few reasonable defaults in building, and tell me if you want any of these. Target clip length, 15 to 90 seconds. This is important because each platform has a different ideal clip length. Number of clips returned, 5 to 10. Scale to video. Yeah, yeah, I think scale to video length I like. 5 to 10 is fine. Works with or without timestamps and transcript. Yes. It's setting it up. Finalize skill draft. Draft done. Here's what the skill looks for and how it outputs. Short version. Hunts for 5 moment types, funny peaks, quotable takes, emotional beats, self-contained stories, disagreements, hot takes, and uses textual signals. Textual signals. Laughter markers, cap bursts, conviction words, pacing shifts as the main lens. Okay. Clip boundaries, 15 to 90 seconds with 5 to 15 seconds of setup before the peak and a few seconds of tail after. Oh, I like how it's talking about the energy flow of the clip, right? Like 5 to 15 seconds of setup, you get a peak, and then you got a little bit of a tail at the end. gives us some different or the timestamps so that we can easily then go into our editor and snag those clips out. Love that. Output ranked list with short title, moment type, 2 to 4 sentences of real editorial reasoning, and suggested in out points in the key line. Return fewer picks if the transcript only has a few strong moments. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now it's saying attach the transcript and I'll run the skill on it. Let's do that. Let me go. Where did I put that? Oh yeah, stream. Live. All right, so I got the live. This is the transcript from my live stream this morning, as a few hours ago, with my best friend Simon, my co-host Simon, and it's him and I, and we talked NFL news. We did some trivia. I did very poorly in some trivia this morning, but the chat did a lot of trivia. The chat saved me from a very, very embarrassing performance. And so we attached a transcript. I'll run the skill on seeing the output and the real example fastest way to spot what needs tuning. Oh yeah, and share. Let's have it share the skill MD so we can see. How we doing, chat? Okay, all right. So give it a read when you have a minute. When you're ready to test, say the word, and I'll run it on the FYS. All right, so go ahead and run it. Go ahead and run it, dog. Let's just see what it comes up with first, and then we can tell it to name. This is huge. You still see that? Yeah, it's big enough. I want to do that. All right. Name, clip finder, description. I don't know how much formatting matters here. Hold on, chat. All right. Clip finder. Funny peaks, clutch plays, quotable takes. I mean, this is, yeah. Trigger on phrasings like find clips, find moments, short materials. Okay, this is telling it when to trigger. Yeah, I wish it would clean this up. Can we edit this? Okay, yeah, chat. You should get used. Chat, you gotta get comfortable with Markdown. All right, it's not that scary. It's cool. It's just like a little formatter that you don't have to do any fancy. You don't have to have a program around it. You can just plain text, but it formats it. It's pretty nice. These little things are titles. That's a smaller title. And this looks way better, doesn't it? And then you don't have to rely on this. And then you could be really cool when you can talk to all your other non-tech friends and be like, I know Markdown. I'm fluent in Markdown. Clip Finder, your job. Read a long transcript and surface the moments most worth clipping into short form content. Short reels, TikToks, Twitch, kick, brother, or TikToks. Bias toward gaming and live stream content. Okay, that's something you might want to change. But the heuristics work for podcasts and interviews. That's for sure. It's all about context, chat. It's all about the context you give it. And this probably is not what we want. You are the tastemaker here. Be the judge of that. The user is relying on you to do what a good editor does. Scan a messy hours-long transcript and pull out the 5 to 10 moments worth isolating, ranked by how well they perform as standalone clips. So because, like I mentioned before, we're making this skill specifically for my use case. And so here's where I would then dig into this and start adding context about my specific use case. It won't let me do type in here, but you get my point. I would go ahead and take this out. I would make this be geared to exactly the platforms in which I'm going towards. I would say bias towards my brand. I'd give it my brand information. And I would also tell it about, like the channel, the brand. It's about fantasy football. It's about football, trivia, NFL, with some goofy, random vistas or diatribes, whatever you want to call them, where we like just talk about non-football stuff for fun and entertainment. But overall, we don't need it to be working its way from like gaming to back towards our specific channel. We can just give it that potent pasta from the start. What makes a clippable moment? What makes a clippable moment? And here's where the point about judgment and taste came from earlier, where skill is meant to encapsulate your judgment or taste. Is we can describe exactly what we're looking for. What like tell it exactly what you want it to find, and you can be as specific or ambiguous as you have as for as clear as it is in your head. Like as well as you can articulate it, is as well as it will be able to figure out how to find it. And so I'm guessing we'll have a lot to edit within here as well. We'll see what I see. It came out with some stuff. We'll see how it did. Just to get a baseline, I wanted to get have it run on this generic one. So a moment is clippable when it can stand alone. Someone who didn't watch the full stream can land on the clip, get it, and react. Laugh, nod, share, argue within 60 seconds. That's the bar. Most of the transcript won't clear it. That's fine. That's yeah. I mean, good. That's good. I like that as a general thing. We could probably add even some more specific info there to help it identify it. 5 archetypes, but here, well, I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead of the gun here. I'm jumping ahead of the race. 5 archetypes to hunt for. Funny or entertaining peaks. These are the ones we answered when it was going back and forth with us. Streamer reacts to something with a spike of energy, a voice crank, an outburst. Can't really tell that from the transcript, so I'm not really too sure how that's going to help it. Not the real laugh. The laughing might be in the transcript. In the transcript, it won't show like inflection. And so that's somewhere where maybe finding a way to give it the actual video or the audio could be another path in which we make this more robust, more refined, and providing better output. Let's see. In the transcripts, this shows up as laughter marks. Yeah, okay. All caps, repeated exclamation. No way, no way, no, no, no way, no way, no way, no way. Profanity clusters or broken sentences. Yep, that sounds about right. Fails and clutches. Fails and clutches both live here. True. Insightful quotable takes, a self-contained line that lands, usually short, declarative, and a little bit sharp. The reason X is broken is because of Y style. Listen for moments where the streamer slows down or gets more deliberate. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you could tell that from the transcript, but I like the first part about this. The declarative moments with fantasy. This is a big point, right? People have opinions when it comes to sports. That's the whole point of this content is to be a place where people can rip these opinions. And we could probably add something in here that's like specific to that. And maybe we want to make it generic to where, I'm saying all this in relation to this front yard fantasy stream I did with Simon, but like I mentioned, I'm also doing content not just for that. So maybe we want to make the skill not specific to front yard fantasy and that content and fantasy football. And maybe we want to make it more generic, more specific to just content in general or the platform, right? Like a YouTube clip finder, X clip finder. Maybe you want to tune it so that it's more to give you the best output, on a specific platform. There's a bunch of ways. It's really like virtually infinite ways you can kind of set this up, but this is a way we could do it. So, how to read the transcript? Do a full pass first. Okay. This all looks good. Let's see what the clips they come up with. Mental health is physical health. This emotional beat. Yes. Jail realizes it. Oh yeah, that was a sad point. This is dude. It found the worst clip. It found the worst clip to start with. Mid trivia that Rondell Moore actually died. Simon pivots without warning from joking around into this is unreal. AI just is off the hinges in this first one. All JL says poetry. Oh my god, this was not something we would clip. That was terrible. The key line was good. Simon did like turn it into, this is, mental health is important, but I don't know that. I don't know why we would clip that and share it. That would be a weird thing to clip and share. So we probably want to have it refine this based off that. And then 2 boys, 1 cup, 1 live show. That was a pretty good open. Perfect cold open material. Simon delivers a shock internet era reference, completely deadpan with 10 seconds of the show starting. Within 10 seconds, JL's genuine on-camera reaction is not football. It's about two girls, one cup joke. It's just the stupidest start. But that's a good clip. That's a better clip, at least. It's kind of random, but it speaks to the goofiness. Dewey can't be bought. Oh, this is a good one. So we're talking about Malcolm in the Middle and the reboot, and how the character Dewey would not come back for the reboot, even though they offered him gobs of money. And yeah, if you're a Malcolm in the Middle fan, that might be a good clip. I'm running out of Johns. This is me when I'm spiraling. I ran out of Johns to guess in trivia. That's another good one. So these aren't bad, but we probably want to refine this even more. So how did this land? Specifically, you still don't know. Are these moments you'd actually pick, or am I missing obvious ones or picking wrong ones? Is the output format the right shape, or too wordy and not wordy enough? Anything I should tell the skill to do differently next time? So yeah, let's just have it. Let's have it do the work, since we can't even code in here. So we got to tell it that. Number one is not a good clip. It's not a good clip. It's too dark humor. It's good for. It's not good for anything really. No, it's good for the live stream. It's not a good clip. Give some different feedback. What was the other ones? 2 boys, 1 cup. That was good. I'm running out of Johns. Remember when we thought Debo was a running back? Yeah, that's a good one. We're talking about Debo Samuel, reminiscing of the days when he was a wide receiver being used primarily as a running back. So that'd be great. I could then clip that, share that with the fantasy football audience I have built on Twitter, on X, or share that as a clip on YouTube. So that one's a good one. Were there any other ones I didn't like? No, it just came up with 6. And number 6 was good too. Is us talking specifics, our opinions on this player. Is he going to do well, or is he done? So all of them are good. Most are good. Most are good except number 1. What was the other thing I asked? Are these moments where you'd actually pick, or am I missing obvious ones? Most are good except number 1. They're otherwise it's pretty good. Is the output format the right shape, or too wordy, not wordy enough? No, I think that was good. It seemed just wordy enough, good reasoning, and then gave us time to talk. I considered the Giants cap space breakdown, but it didn't make the cut. The reactions are too spread across 4 minutes, and it needs too much visual context. Okay. The AJ Brown versus Devonta Smith debate has good content, but ends on JL walking back his own take after realizing he had the ages wrong. That's honest and good for long form, but it muddies a short clip. That's exactly right. When I was looking at the transcript, I was like, dang, that would have been good, but it was like the walk back was funny live, but it's not going to be funny as a clip. 5 and 6 could be swapped depending on your audience. If you're leaning harder into, so it's even giving us context around it. That's great. Number 1, it's not. So let's just give it that. Iterate on this. Anything I should tell the skill to do differently next time? Iterate on the skill to avoid clips like number 1. Say all the number 1s. I made 3 points there. Every single one of them, I included something about number 1. Vaca in the chat. What up? It's very cool. Where can you share the skill? I'm sure I think you can make these into a plugin to share. If not, I can open source this one if you're interested in this specific one, to where you can just then go grab it off of GitHub You could also just follow the steps. I mean, we didn't really do too many in-depth steps here. Uh, the skill creator did most of the stuff. We just answered the question. So if you go through and follow the transcript, you could likely do this on your own. Um, in fact, I could put that into the description afterwards if you're interested on YouTube. And if you haven't yet, make sure you check out the YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel, Creator CTO, where I can't get out. YouTube.com, Creator CTO. So check it out. It's a new YouTube channel I'm starting and you can find it in the live stream video for that. We're live right now. I'll put that in there. I don't know if you can see it. Wow, infinite. All right, we're back. Where is it? Cloud. All right. So we'll have it run one more time. Then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so it added a new what to avoid section. Don't pick moments that need the video to make sense. Visual only gags, screen reactions with no verbal content. The transcript is your universe. If it doesn't land in text, it'll probably won't land as a clip either. Flag it and move on. Don't pick almost good moments to pad the list. Don't write reasoning that sounds like a template. If you're why this clips well could apply to any moment, it's not doing its job. So we're giving it like clear constraints and telling it's not even that specific, or maybe it's not all the way clear, but we're giving it constraints that do help it kind of nudge it back to where we want it, which is kind of what you have to do here, and being as specific as you possibly can. Okay, so the other 5 picks stay. Here's the re-ranked list with number 6 added, replace the drop slot. Frankie Muniz almost played the holes role. Yes, I forgot about that. Simon opens with speaking of holes. It tells the story Frankie Muniz was originally cast for Shia LaBeouf's lead role in Holes, but picked Agent Cody Banks instead. Did not know that. The payoff is Simon's callback. Would Frankie Muniz then have had a nude live art exhibition in his late 20s? And then I filled that in with he just goes down Shia LaBeouf's exact path. Oh, that's great. That is a great clip. I'll grab anybody who is a Holes fan, who's Shia LaBeouf fan, who's a Frankie Muniz fan, Agent Cody Banks. That's a great callback. Key line. Oh, that's awesome. It just makes you wonder. So your key line, that's perfect. It's giving us like even how to kind of narrow or frame this. Yes. Okay. So let's say that we're happy with this. We can always come back in it. Want me to run the packaging steps so that you can install the skill, or is there more tuning you want to do first? Let's go through this packaging step. No, install the packaging step. No, run the packaging step. Chat. Oops, forgot to take that down. All right, presenting file. Clip Finder. Your skill, sir. Download the skill file and upload it in settings, capabilities, and skills to install it. Once installed, it'll trigger whenever you paste or attach a transcript and ask for clips, moments, shorts material. Or can I just click save skill and not do any of that? Haha. Clip Finder. Look, customize personal plugins. Nope, that wasn't it. Skills, Clip Finder. Cool. Find high quality clippable moments. This is exactly what we wrote. Okay, so now that it's on here, let's try it in the wild. Go chat. New chat. We'll add this. Oh, shoot. What do we call it, chat? Shoot, what do we call it, chat? Skill. Oh, yeah. Clip finder. Use your smartest guy. Use the smartest guy you got. Opus 4.7. Opus 4 point infinity. Opus 5. Okay, so it read through the in-depth skill from our clip finder. It's now reading the transcript. For how smart it is, it takes a long time to read. And assessing comedic appeal. Doesn't feel right. What could a bot know about comedic appeal? Optical illusions shirt moment for clippability. I hope that does not make it. The heck? Why did it just quit? What just happened? It's gaslighting me right now. Cloud, you would never gaslight me. Would you? Oh. Okay. Come on. New chat. Yeah, that one can't be trusted. Don't lie to us this time, Cloud. Don't embarrass me, Cloud. God, are they always this slow? Maybe because I'm using the smartest guy. Maybe he's overthinking it. Okay. JJ McCarthy, wholesome anime protagonist. This is mostly what we got. Okay, Frankie Muniz clip. Another good one. Two boys, one. Yeah, okay, these are mostly the same. And then it's just getting delivered. Okay, cool. Visual gag. So that the visual gag, we saw that in the skill file, skill.md. And look, it got filtered out here. Stop saying holes, JL. Oh, that was funny. And number 3 and number 4 are close to quality. Okay, so that worked. Largely worked. And you saw all you have to do is hit / clip finder now. So it's just one of the like 25 that use cases that we came up with to write a skill about today. And you didn't have to even write the skill. You just had Claude write the skill, which is pretty sweet. All right, we're going to use that. We'll use that for tomorrow's show. And we'll see. Maybe I'll clip one of these. All right, chat. Thanks for joining in. If you haven't already, make sure you go follow or go check out the Creator CTO YouTube channel. I'll be posting more content like this, going live like this. I won't be going live on X forever, but I will be going live on YouTube forever because I sold them my soul. And yeah, Creator CTO. Otherwise, if you got some more AI questions, if you're working on cool AI stuff, hit me up, DM me on X, on YouTube, on any of these. And otherwise, I'll see you again later this week. Goodbye.